Welcome to FlyEaglesFly News, where Eagles fans get the latest, fastest, and hottest updates. Hit subscribe and fly high with us. The sports world is buzzing with shockwaves after MICAH Parsons, one of the most dynamic and outspoken players in the league, made a statement that is shaking the very foundation of the Philadelphia Eagles. In a recent off-the-cuff interview, Parsons did not hold back, calling out a specific Eagles player in terms that have ignited social media, sports forums, and locker room gossip alike. He reportedly said, in no uncertain terms, that this particular player has always been an idiot with no talent, a remark that is now reverberating across the NFL fanbase and beyond. Considering Parsons' reputation as a relentless, hard-hitting linebacker who dominates on the field, his words carry extra weight, and critics are already speculating about the impact this could have on the Eagles' locker room dynamics. Fans are polarized, with some applauding his brutal honesty and others questioning the timing and professionalism of such a public critique. Analysts have started dissecting every word, trying to figure out if Parsons was speaking from frustration, personal conflict, or genuine assessment of performance. Whatever the motive, this statement has become the central topic in conversations about player relationships, team culture, and accountability within high-profile NFL franchises, leaving everyone wondering what fallout might follow. The rumor continues to grow as insiders suggest that Parsons' comments might be more than just heat-of-the-moment frustration. They could reflect deeper tensions within the Eagles organization. Teammates and coaches are reportedly taking sides, and the locker room atmosphere is said to be tense, with whispers of confrontations and unspoken rivalries. Social media has exploded with reaction videos, fan memes, and passionate debates, with many weighing Parsons' credibility as one of the league's elite defenders against the seemingly scathing nature of his remarks. There is speculation that this could influence future trades, alter practice dynamics, or even affect game day lineups if tensions boil over. Sports commentators are calling this a potential turning point for the Eagles season, raising questions about whether leadership can contain internal conflicts without spilling into the public eye again. Meanwhile, betting markets and fantasy football analysts have begun recalculating projections, factoring in the possibility of reduced performance from the targeted player or shifts in team cohesion. Some insiders hint that this could mark the beginning of a larger narrative about accountability in the NFL, where star players no longer shy away from calling out perceived underperformance, potentially reshaping team culture league-wide. Parsons' bold remarks are also creating ripples outside the immediate circle of the Eagles organization. Rival teams are reportedly taking mental notes, and fans of opposing franchises are reveling in the drama, seeing it as both entertainment and strategic insight. Pundits speculate that opposing coaches might exploit internal friction, potentially using it to their advantage in upcoming matchups. Analysts are dissecting game tapes, player interactions, and off-field behavior to see if Parsons' observations align with patterns of inconsistency or mistakes. Meanwhile, the media frenzy has intensified, with headlines repeatedly highlighting Parsons' no-holds-barred critique, feeding a cycle of speculation and sensationalism. Some former players have publicly commented, either defending Parsons' honesty or criticizing the harshness of his words, further fueling the fire behind the scenes. League officials are quietly monitoring the situation, as public disputes can sometimes lead to fines, warnings, or league-mediated resolutions, especially if player conduct threatens reputations or brand value. The discussion is not just about a single comment anymore. It has morphed into a debate about professionalism, respect among teammates, and the role of star personalities in influencing locker room culture, making this a story that refuses to fade quietly. Fans and analysts alike are now dissecting the history between Parsons and the unnamed Eagles player, looking for patterns or incidents that might explain the hostility. Past games, missed assignments, and controversial plays are being scrutinized frame by frame. Social media threads buzzing with theories and hot takes. Parsons' reputation as a fierce competitor lends credibility to his critique in the eyes of many, but others argue that public disparagement could backfire, undermining team unity and morale. The timing of the comments also raises eyebrows, occurring just before critical games where focus and cohesion are paramount. Coaches are reportedly scrambling to address the situation internally, emphasizing team-first messaging while attempting to prevent public fallout from affecting performance. Meanwhile, fan communities are split between outrage, amusement, and disbelief. some questioning the player's talent while others defend him vehemently. The narrative is evolving, and every interview, post, or social media reaction adds fuel to the fire, keeping the rumor alive and vibrant. With no immediate resolution in sight, the financial and branding implications are also beginning to surface. Marketing partners, sponsors, and team executives are monitoring reactions closely, aware that such public statements can affect merchandise sales, ticket demand, and overall brand perception. The Eagles organization is facing a delicate balancing act, addressing internal conflicts without amplifying the controversy externally. Sports psychologists have weighed in, noting that interpersonal friction at this level can have significant psychological impacts on players, potentially influencing performance, stress levels, and career trajectories. Parsons' fearless approach to speaking his mind contrasts sharply with the often carefully managed public images of other athletes, presenting a fascinating study in how authenticity and boldness interact with professional responsibility. With the rumor gaining momentum and social media serving as an endless echo chamber, every new comment, clip, or reaction is dissected for nuance and hidden meaning, keeping fans glued to their screens and analysts in overdrive, making this one of the most talked about incidents in recent NFL memory. Industry insiders hint that the next moves from both Parsons and the Eagles could redefine narratives across the league. Trades, suspensions, or reconciliations are all possibilities, and speculation is rampant about how team leadership might mediate or exacerbate the situation. Some suggest that this moment could inspire other players to speak out, creating a ripple effect across locker rooms, while others caution that uncontrolled public criticism can damage careers and relationships irreversibly. Meanwhile, the targeted player's response or lack thereof is fueling even more discussion, with fans interpreting silence as either stoicism or shame. Analysts are theorizing whether Parsons' comments are a calculated tactic to provoke change or simply a candid expression of frustration. Either way, the story has all the elements of drama: high stakes, celebrity personalities, competitive tension, and an unpredictable aftermath. As the NFL season continues, the spotlight remains firmly on Parsons and the Eagles, with each development meticulously analyzed, debated, and amplified across sports media platforms, ensuring that this is far from being a quiet, forgotten rumor. The ongoing saga surrounding Micah Parsons' explosive statement against an Eagles player has taken on a life of its own, spreading beyond the field and infiltrating sports culture conversations nationwide. What began as a single, incendiary remark has snowballed into a full-blown spectacle, dominating news cycles, podcasts, and social media timelines alike. Fans are dissecting every detail, replaying past games for hints of truth, and debating the legitimacy of Parsons' critique in forums that are often as passionate as they are polarized. The targeted player's past performance, off-field behavior, and reputation are being reevaluated under a microscope, with some suggesting Parsons' words might reflect broader truths about accountability in professional sports. Meanwhile, sports networks are dedicating hours of programming to break down this drama, inviting former players, analysts, and psychologists to speculate on motivations, potential fallout, and the impact on team chemistry. Behind the scenes, team executives are reportedly strategizing damage control, mindful that internal tension leaking to the public can erode fan trust, affect sponsorships, and influence media narratives. Parsons' reputation as a no-nonsense competitor only amplifies the story, as fans and critics alike wonder if this is a singular outburst or a signal of a larger cultural shift in player candor. Inside the Eagles organization, the locker room dynamics are reportedly tense, with players and staff navigating an atmosphere charged with unspoken judgment and heightened scrutiny. Coaches are tasked with mitigating potential conflicts while maintaining focus on performance, a challenge intensified by Parsons' high profile and the viral nature of his remarks. Sources suggest that some teammates are rallying behind Parsons, admiring his fearless honesty, while others may feel threatened or uncomfortable with such direct public criticism. The situation has sparked debates over leadership styles, accountability, and whether outspoken stars enhance or undermine cohesion. Some analysts argue that Parsons' intervention might catalyze performance improvements, forcing teammates to elevate their game, while others caution that public disparagement could fracture trust. Media outlets are dissecting every interview, press conference, and social media post, framing each statement as a potential escalation or resolution. The ripple effects are not confined to Philadelphia, Rival teams and their fan bases are watching closely, predicting possible advantages if the Eagles' internal tensions manifest on the field. The combination of personality, performance stakes, and media amplification ensures that this story continues to captivate sports audiences nationwide, making it a defining rumor of the season. The cultural implications of Parsons' comments are also fueling debate across the NFL community, raising questions about respect, professionalism, and the boundaries of honesty in sports. Critics argue that publicly insulting a teammate risks undermining leadership, while supporters claim it represents a necessary candidness in a league that rewards performance above all else. The evolving narrative also intersects with social media culture, where viral moments can define reputations more swiftly than game day statistics ever could. Parsons' bluntness, amplified by millions of eyes online, has ignited conversations about how athletes balance authenticity with diplomacy, and whether speaking truth even harshly can lead to positive change or long-term consequences. Fans dissect motivational aspects, wondering if such statements could ignite competitive fire or create resentment. Analysts predict that this incident may set a precedent for future player interactions, prompting discussions about mental toughness, accountability, and communication in high-stakes environments. The ongoing public scrutiny ensures that Parsons' remark will not be forgotten quickly, as every reaction becomes fodder for analysis, storytelling, and speculative commentary, solidifying its place as one of the most polarizing moments of the season. FlyEaglesFly News family, smash subscribe and hit like. Your support keeps the freshest Philadelphia Eagles updates flying in. Drop your take in the comments and let's talk birds. Sports media professionals are reporting that the financial and strategic consequences could be significant, especially if Parsons' statement leads to internal rifts affecting game day performance. Merchandising, ticket sales, and sponsor relationships are sensitive to public perception, and executives are keeping a close watch on fan sentiment as the controversy evolves. Analysts also predict that fantasy football leagues may see indirect effects if the criticized players' performance dips or if team dynamics shift noticeably. Behind the scenes, conversations between coaches, executives, and player representatives are likely intense, focusing on damage control, reconciliation, or tactical maneuvering. Former players have entered the conversation as well, offering perspectives that range from admiration for Parsons' courage to cautionary tales about the perils of public criticism. Social media continues to magnify each development, with fans and commentators reacting in real time, creating a feedback loop that both informs and inflames. The intersection of media amplification, public opinion, and internal team strategy ensures that this is not just a passing rumor but a complex, evolving narrative with tangible impacts on multiple levels of professional football. The targeted player, meanwhile, has been largely silent, prompting speculation about how he perceives Parsons' critique and whether a response is forthcoming. Silence can be interpreted in multiple ways: stoicism, embarrassment, strategic restraint, or even a brewing response. Fans and commentators are reading between the lines of every post, interview, and subtle gesture, turning the absence of words into a story in itself. Sports psychologists suggest that such situations test emotional resilience, focus, and the ability to compartmentalize personal conflicts from professional obligations. On the field, performance under scrutiny becomes a narrative, with each play analyzed for confirmation or contradiction of Parsons' claims. Coaches face the delicate task of keeping both the criticized player and the team focused, balancing individual pride with collective objectives. The ongoing speculation ensures that each practice, game, and media interaction is viewed through the lens of this controversy, amplifying pressure and heightening stakes. Fans are both entertained and concerned, eager for clarity but caught in a cycle where rumor, perception, and performance intermingle continuously, maintaining high engagement and narrative tension across all platforms. Speculation about next steps ranges from potential trades to internal mediation, with experts weighing the probability of reconciliation versus escalation. The NFL's highly publicized environment means that every decision is scrutinized for precedent, strategy, and optics. Some insiders suggest that this moment could inspire similar candidness from other players, potentially reshaping norms around communication, accountability, and interpersonal dynamics in professional sports. Conversely, cautionary voices warn that mismanaged criticism could fracture careers and damage team cohesion irreversibly. Meanwhile, sports media outlets continue dissecting the evolving storyline, framing each development as either escalation or resolution. Keeping audiences hooked, the narrative complexity, combined with Parsons' high profile and the unnamed player's potential vulnerability, ensures ongoing debate and analysis. With no clear endpoint in sight, fans remain glued to screens, social media feeds, and sports broadcasts, knowing that each moment could redefine the season's narrative. In a league defined by talent, drama, and rivalry, Micah Parsons' explosive words have cemented themselves as one of the most talked about incidents, creating a story that will linger, provoke, and dominate conversations for weeks to come. That's a wrap from FlyEaglesFly News. If you want the fastest Eagles updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Sound off in the comments. Let's talk birds.